All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new DC update. And today, it is big news. Yes, things are happening that is going to leave a huge group of Gunn fans very angry. We have something to talk about. Yes, things are moving behind the scenes. For sure. Things are happening. Zack Snyder does it again with another post, and Zaslav makes a huge announcement today. And we're going to see what all this means. Now, before I get into that, I do have to apologize. In my last video, I inadvertently shared something that was not true, that was made up from, I guess it's a parody account called Discussing Fish that uses the same logo as Discussing Film, and I inadvertently shared that. I didn't know that was a parody account, and so I will try to do better in the future when that happens. Now, I think that's only like the third time in the 5 years I've been doing this where I've had to correct myself on something that I inadvertently shared, but it does happen. Everybody is human, and I will always correct it when I get it wrong. So there you go. I know a lot of people tried to jump on me yesterday for doing that, and it just goes to show you I guess the whole punk rock thing doesn't really translate to real life. So anyway, let's take a look at the photos that I have grabbed since yesterday. First up, here we go. Joe Manganiello backs the Sell Warner Brothers to Netflix campaign. Joe has fans buzzing again after he reposted a Deathstroke clip on X featuring the hashtag SellWB to Netflix, a rallying cry among fans who want Netflix to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery. Yes, this is on the table, guys, and we're going to see what Zaslav has to say all about this in just a few minutes. But this photo did get a lot of people talking yesterday. Again, it was kind of a mini meltdown compared to what happened with the Man of Steel photo, but Zack Snyder posted another photo this morning, and then there was a big announcement by David Zaslav. So here we go. Zack Snyder posted this. I think I saw this about an hour, not even an hour after it had been posted. But this is a new photo of behind the scenes of Batman. Looks like he's, this is, looks like, I don't know what that room is, but it looks like he's sitting on, I don't know. But anyway, it says here, one of my favorite Batman photos. You could see the Curly Ray. He chimed in. You got the Lethal Geeks. I chimed in as well, even though this is my professional account, not my... I don't really have a review Instagram account. I did start one, but never kept up with it. I don't even know how to log into it anymore, and I may have to start that back up again. But, yeah, this is huge. There's a reason why he's posting all of this. And we're going to talk about that because it's going to tie in to the announcement that Zaslav made today. So here we go. This was the big news. Warner Brothers Discovery says it is evaluating acquisition offers from multiple parties. And we know what one of them is for sure. And we're going to take a look at this. So to all the naysayers who told me that Warner Brothers would never sell, that they weren't going to sell, that I was wrong, shame on you. I've been following this since day one. I knew that Zaslav was having meetings with people before he even took the company over. His plan was never to keep Warner Brothers. Their plan was to try and make DC a big selling point for the company. You remember those 14 trillion views that the trailer got for Superman? That did not equate to tickets sold. In fact, it sold half as many tickets of Man of Steel, lost the company $42 million at a minimum at the box office. It was not the juggernaut that they needed. It did not reignite the interest in the DCU because nobody watched Creature Commandos, and you had a smaller audience for Peacemaker Season 2 finale than you did for the Season 1 finale when it was under the DCEU banner. And so, no, Superman did not do the job of reigniting the fan base for DC. It didn't happen. And they can't use that as a selling point anymore. And David Zaslav is no longer waiting. he is ready to sell the company, which does not bode well for James Gunn. He will probably be out. Zaslav will be out. I'm betting Gunn will be out, and I'm betting that Safran will be out. That Mike DeLuca and Pam Abney will be put in control of this property. That is what I am assuming is going to happen at this stage. I don't know for a fact that's going to happen, but with everything I've seen, that's what everything indicates. And so we're going to see where this all lies at the end of the day. But we're going to see who is actually interested. Now, if this ever happens, it says James Gunn says that he finds Jack Kirby's New Gods so fascinating and that they will play around with it. He says they will be introduced in Mr. Miracle, which he has the screenplay for but hasn't read yet. And so things are happening behind the scenes, but I don't think this project is ever going to come to fruition. Also, James Gunn says don't expect Darkseid to run Salvation in the DCU, and that he was really only interested in the concept of a government-run prison. So don't expect the New Gods to be in charge. Don't expect this to be, the playing ground for training, Darkseid's troops and stuff like that. It doesn't look like that was ever going to be the plan under what James Gunn is doing. So here we go. These are two parties that we know are interested in Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers Discovery is officially up for sale, and according to new reports from CNBC, Netflix is among the interested parties. Would you want to see Netflix pick up the studio and its assets? All right, guys, this is coming from CNBC, which is sometimes reputable. There would be no reason for them not to be reputable on this particular story. But yes, Netflix is definitely in the mix. Now, we don't know if Paramount is. Now, I've been seeing a lot of people arguing about this online. Should Netflix get it? Should Paramount get it? Here are my thoughts on this. I would prefer Paramount to get it because I do see what the Ellisons are doing with Paramount, what they're doing to kind of correct the ship over there, and it's all good stuff. They are bringing back Dexter. They're fixing the issues with Star Trek. I think they would treat these properties with respect. Now, some people are taking that story that came out that they would want to do a reboot as fact. Nobody knows if that is a fact or not. Let's talk about Netflix. Netflix could definitely do this as well because they have a strong relationship, a very strong relationship with Zack Snyder, and Zack Snyder is on the record of saying if they owned it, he would definitely finish his story. And I'm sure we would get the release of the Ayer cut and possibly some more films in the DCEU. But at the same time, Netflix has issues that the Ellisons are trying to fix. Well, they're not trying to fix. They're fixing them over at Paramount. Netflix has done some pretty disgusting things in the past, and I'm not sure that I would want them specifically to take it over. I would prefer Paramount as long as they will let Zack Snyder finish his story, release the Ayer cut, do those things, but there's no guarantee that either one of these companies would do that. I prefer Paramount because they are in theaters, they do physical media. Netflix does not. And they're looking about coming into theaters and possibly putting things on physical media, but they have yet to do that. So it's a double-edged sword. Neither one of these companies is the perfect fit, and people are having arguments of it online. I don't care which company gets it, as long as we get Justice League 2 and 3, possibly the Batfleck movie, the release of the Ayer cut, and we get the finish to that story. So we will see what happens here in the future. All right, guys, so this is huge, huge news today. It is definitely happening. How quickly it happens will be a whole nother story. Once a sale goes through, it's got to go through a bunch of legal stuff, the government, to make sure that everything can happen. My guess is it wouldn't happen for at least 6 months, probably the middle of 2026. But there's definitely something happening, and that does not bode well for Gunn. Like I said before, the interest was not reignited. It did not bring the people they were expecting to into theaters. It just simply did not happen, no matter what anybody tells you. The streaming numbers show it did worse than Black Adam did. Peacemaker did worse than Season 1. Everything under the DCEU had more interest than what Gunn is doing now. It is a fact. You cannot dispute that. It is a fact. Doesn't matter what the ratings are. It doesn't matter what anybody tells you. It's the fact that people are just not interested in what James Gunn is doing. These posts that Zack Snyder has been putting out over the last 3 days have really gotten people out there and excited. James Gunn is not doing that. All right, guys, there is my update for the day. What do you think is going to happen? Please leave your comments below, and we will see you on the next video.